What's up, guys? We're back with another video. I know I haven't made a video in a while and I haven't been uploading consistently, but trust me, I'm going to get back on that. I've just been busy. So let's get it. Why genetics are cope. It's my genetics, bro. I swear it's my genetics. Today we're just going to be discussing more about this topic, why genetics are the only thing that matters, and we're going to dive into a bunch of things. And I'm not going to go too into depth because I don't want this video to be half an hour long, but I'm going to explain more. I'm going to make more in-depth videos later on about these little things. So let's just get to it. Yes, obviously genetics matter. You won't grow to 6'3" if your parents are 5'6" and 5 foot, bro. But I mean, before everybody calls me cope, saying that genetics, all these BP guys saying, "Oh, genetics is the only thing that matters. Genetics is the only thing that matters." You have a genetic limit, and today I could be teaching you. Especially, this is mainly targeted towards people who are still during puberty. I mean, if you're 25, these won't help you as much. So today we're gonna be talking about how you could reach that genetic limit to improve your face, your height, everything, and your overall looks. So one thing I hate hearing, it just pisses me off so much, is this cope. All these cope that people I hear a lot in like IG comments or whatever. That, oh, I'm Indian or some shit. Like, oh, I'm Asian. I can't pull because, oh yeah, bro. Do not blame it on your race. You could pull at any race. You could be super attractive at any race. It does not matter. And don't. That's cope. You are not. The only reason why you don't look good is because of your habits and your health. And today we're going to be getting into how to improve those things. So if you're under 18 to 20, that's the range I gave, but you could still be a little older and still improve some of these things. So you could still improve your height, you can improve your bone mass, your physique, and other features. So and I kind of rank these based like how much you can improve it or pretty much how much time you have here. So uh, let's just get into it. So your height. Your height comes down to four things: your diet, your activity, your hormones, and your posture. So your diet. You want to be eating a primal whole foods diet, nutrient dense foods, nothing estrogenic, and you want to be eating a lot. So don't basically be eating a little because that's gonna help your bones grow. It's pretty obvious. So primal whole foods. What is primal? What are these primal whole foods? Basically, I like to say, what were our ancestors eating like 1,000 years ago? Pretty much, that's a really good start. So like one ingredient foods is also, yeah, one ingredient whole foods. Here, I mean, I'm showing some steak, some raw milk, some oysters. I'm gonna touch on the raw milk. Give me a second. Um, but why do we want these foods? Because they have nutrients and they're nutrient dense foods. So why do nutrients help improve your height? So basically, nutrients improve your growth hormone. They send signals to your brain. They send signals to your brain to send growth hormone to your bones, which is overall going to help you improve and get taller. Furthermore, they promote your body function. They help your pituitary, your hypothalamus. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And they just improve your overall body function, which is something that you really want. I mean, also things like calcium, vitamin D, all these things, they're gonna bind to your bones, and that's gonna help a lot. So specific foods, like for example, I said raw milk. I mean calcium, vitamin D, vitamin A, a lot of things that are just gonna help bind to your bones and help the cells help you get taller. You should not be afraid of raw milk. I mean, it's a very controversial subject. I hear a lot in like the looks maxing or health community nowadays. And I mean, think about it like this: pasteurization wasn't, I mean, really invented to like 18 mid 1800s, and wasn't really popularized until 1900s, mid 1900s. And so humans have been drinking cow's milk for tens of thousands of years. You think if they're constantly getting sick, constantly getting this bacteria, they would have stopped and deemed it dangerous. No, simply, yes, humans can get disease from cow's milk, and that has only been a thing recently, the past like hundreds of years. Why? Because cows are putting these. I'm gonna actually do a drawing real quick. You give me, this is your cow, right? Not a very good drawing. Um, Usually they should be in grass. They should be roaming free, doing whatever, and their udders should be clean. They should be fine, right? And you're obviously not going to get diseases from that. But the farming industry became huge. They wanted to cut down on costs, so no grass. Okay. Whatever. No grass. They're putting these cage. They're putting tiny rooms. They're rolling around in their own poop. Others aren't getting clean. They're eating terrible. Yes, and you're gonna get bacteria from a from a cow in that type of condition. So make sure that you get your raw milk from a place that you trust, a local farm, and make sure that they're cleaning the udders. Make sure that the cows are well taken care of. And I'm telling you, you will not get any diseases. But also, why raw milk? Raw milk has way more nutrients, way more digestive enzymes that are basically going to help you grow taller, do everything for you. Heating up, the pasteurization process does kill a lot of these nutrients. So, getting that out of the way, nothing estrogenics like soy. Some examples are soy, flax seeds, etc. That's what I just said. And just basically garbage junk food is basically estrogenic. Any garbage, that's why I say primal whole foods like nutrient dense foods isn't garbage. And these are estrogenic. They have phytoestrogens, and phytoestrogens basically make your growth plates close faster. So that is something that you definitely want to avoid. Eat a lot. Don't be in a calorie deficit. Obviously, more nutrients, everything that's going to improve your bones. So activity. Activating MSS, which is mechanical and structural stimulation. Overall, just exercise and weightlifting, getting sunlight, and getting proper sleep, which I said is, at least 8 hours unconscious. I'm going to get into that. What is MSS? What is mechanical and structural stimulation? So basically, it's some examples are sprinting, jumping. You jump, squat. These are just like skipping. These types of things, especially sprinting, is a huge one. Is shown that it can improve your height. It's going to improve your growth hormone, and it's going to spike your IGF-1. So, a lot of people tie it to Wolff's Law. I don't really believe in Wolff's Law just yet, where people doing like Maasai jumps and all that type of stuff. Which that's a whole nother world you could get into. But trust me, just start running, sprinting. Our ancestors back in the day, they were running, sprinting, chasing down that hog or whatever. That's what you want to be doing. Getting back to that ancestral DNA, it's going to improve everything. So next thing, overall exercise and weightlifting, it can help. Just make sure you play, if you play a sport, that's great. If you're I didn't even write that right. Okay. And yeah, getting sunlight. Sunlight is proven it helps your circadian rhythm. So in the morning, first thing you should be doing is getting sunlight. If you can't try to get it throughout the day. I know during the weeks, weekdays, I can't really get sunlight in the morning. It provides you with vitamin D, provides you with a bunch of good nutrients. Definitely don't be afraid of the sun. I'm coughing up here. Sorry, and get proper sleep. So at least 8 hours unconscious in deep sleep. The average human's sleep efficiency is 80%. So if you're in bed for 10 hours, you're only 8 hours unconscious. Well, there are things to improve your sleep efficiency to make that go higher. So make sure you're not being exposed to blue light or screens too much before bed. Make sure that your circadian rhythm is on point, like getting sunlight in the morning. That obviously helps with that. Make sure you're winding down and you're not stimulated. You don't have a cortisol spike. Don't have caffeine all hours before bed. Your hormones. And I don't know why these images aren't showing up. I kind of just drew like the testosterone hormone. Whatever. But we'll pretend there's an image there. Canva's glitching right now. So, yes, like I said, increased estrogen closes your growth plates earlier. So, limit your exposure to phytoestrogens and optimize your growth hormone and IGF-1. So, what are some phytoestrogens throughout the day? I have discussed this in other videos, but just run it down. Plastics. Do not be drinking from plastic. Do not be using plastic with any type of your food. Obviously, don't be touching receipts. Receipts is a big one, but that should be obvious. Don't drink tap water or use tap water on your face in the shower. If you get your water from a well, which is some people do. I know that's great. Or just install a filter like a really good filter like reverse osmosis water filter. and optimize your growth hormone and IGF-1. So some things like I mentioned earlier, sprinting is something that also improves your growth hormone, IGF-1. There's some other techniques you can dive into. Obviously, getting good sleep. That's where you produce most of your growth hormone. Cold exposure. So after, like, you could be taking cold showers. I mean, even after like a shower, just for a minute, turn it to cold. And also fasting. So what I like to say, obviously, get like for a week. Let's just say make sure you're getting enough food, eating enough food, and then on Sunday you fast for 14 hours. That is going to spike your growth hormone, and you could break the fast with a nutrient dense meal. Oh, whoops. Okay. Posture. So spinal decompression. Your posture is super important, and it's probably the most important here. Even it's just a quick, simple fix, just like that can give you, 2 inches in a short matter of time. So spinal decompression, dead hangs and stretching. So basically, you could go to a pull-up bar and just stretch from that dead hangs. Obviously, something like this here. And make sure that you're constantly stretching. So if you don't really know how to stretch, you could look it up on YouTube, like a stretch routine. But I don't think you need to do stretches that, or look. You could look up a stretch routine for posture. You don't need to be doing stretches that you don't feel like it. Your body's going to tell you like what needs to be stretched, what feels like it needs to be stretched, and you could do that. So posture muscle strengthening. You'll notice that a lot of skinny people don't have good posture. Why? Because their back muscles aren't strong enough. They don't have enough back muscle yet to support their back and their spine. So obviously, hitting back in the gym, prioritizing that is going to help a lot by strengthening your back muscles. Controlled spinal flexion. So this is another more like techniques that you could get into to help improve your spine, to improve your posture. I'm not going to go too deep into this. There are plenty of guides on YouTube. And fixing your anterior pelvic tilt. Basically, there's more deeper guides on YouTube on this, but I'm just going to quickly dive into it. You could do this by different types of stretching, and obviously strengthening muscles in like your glutes, throughout your body, in your legs. I mean, pretty much your entire body. If it's running functionally, everything should be working. It goes hand in hand. And things like posture, doesn't just affect your height, it affects your face, it affects everything. So that's why you need to reset your health and just get to it. So next thing is bone mass. So I'm going to just go over kind of the basics, factors to avoid, MSS with your face, face posture, and certain visual enhancements that could help. Bone mass and height pretty much go hand in hand. So pretty much everything that I told you in the height category also can be applied to bone mass. So, like for example, like your diet, make sure you have good mineral balance. Make sure you're eating enough every type of nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. I just listed some things to here: calcium, D3, K2, magnesium. Obviously, optimize your hormones, because I mean it doesn't just send growth hormone to your legs, to your bones. It also sends growth hormone to your face. You want to have good bone mass. Factors to avoid: drugs and alcohol reduce growth hormone and IGF-1, especially to the skull. So, I mean, I've seen plenty of people with, I have a friend, he has great angularity, he looks really good, but his face, he just looks like his head is just shrunken. It doesn't look appealing at all. And obviously, because he does a lot of drugs and alcohol, and that also, like, makes his face, like, dries out of skin, makes him just look like a zombie. But estrogenic substance, like I mentioned, that is going to limit the growth hormone to your face. Chronic stress. This is also really important. Chronic stress is going to increase your cortisol, and that your cortisol stimulates your, I don't know if I'm pronouncing always, osteoclasts, which is actually basically going to break down your bone tissue, in turn reducing your bone mass. Also, chronic stress, that could just absorb certain nutrients that is needed for bone mass. So that's not something you want to be doing. And obviously, under eating, make sure you eat a lot. You know, I've had a lot of people talk about, they think that going on a cut, that's going to give them like a chisel job, make them better. No, it actually doesn't. It reduces the bone mass in your face. Like, you might have a little less body fat, but you still don't look good. Next, MSS. So mewing, I did talk about mewing and chewing hard foods, and then thumb pulling and chin tucks. Why I put them with a question mark. So we're gonna get on that. Mewing. So if you don't know how to mew, you want your tongue basically here resting on the roof of your mouth, or instead of just having it at the bottom. So look, let's say that let's try to make the letter T like and close. Your tongue should be on the roof of your mouth and just swallow like that. Keep swallowing. It should be in the roof of the mouth with the tip touching the teeth, and that is going to improve better. The tongue posture is going to align your bones better. Uh, Humans, I mean, throughout your years developing, there's certain chewing habits, there's tongue posture habits. Your jaw, and your chin has become recessed, and obviously not as good. So that's why I want to make sure we're mewing. So chewing hard foods again. Uh, as you've grown up, you chew soft, not good foods. You want to be chewing lots of meats. I mean, also certain type of gum you could chew. I say at least 15 times on each side, or I guess just 25 times in total. But this is just really being safe. Eating a lot on each side is going to stimulate your masseters, these muscles in your face, to improve more and get better. So thumb pulling and chin tucks, mewing. I mean, they're pretty much like mewing, but there just isn't enough research on them. There's so much, but I do think that it can work. Applying pressure to the roof of your mouth to help it expand. So if you don't know what thumb pulling is, it's just basically like you're on a wall, like making as many double chins as possible, and basically pulling your palate to expand it. Chin tucks is also like doing this, and that is said to improve your jaw in a way. But basically, I'm going to be doing an experiment for the next 100 days. I'm going to be trying all these certain looks maxing exercises with your face and seeing how they affect. Are they cope? Do they really work? Are they true? So get ready. That's going to be a video. It's going to come out in a while because it's going to be a long experiment, but we'll have to see with that. So posture. So obviously mewing again, you want to have good tongue posture. But another one that is super, super, super important is fixing your overbite. I can't stress this enough. This is a problem that, I mean, you could literally fix it within, I mean, super fast, and it makes a big difference. So look, obviously here you don't want your teeth to the over like this. That is not good. What is that? What that's gonna do is gonna make your ramus shorter, and it's gonna give you less forward growth. So by having your mandible back. So what I just look and then notice, this is what it looked like with the overbite. And by fixing it just like this, I mean, it changes a lot. I don't know if you can notice it with the camera, but trust me, it's going to change a lot. But obviously, doing this, just by putting it there, it's not going to be like that permanently. They can't maintain that throughout the day. So obviously, what some things you can start doing is chewing properly. When you chew, bring your teeth like this. You obviously usually when you chew stuff, you're just using your back molars and just crunching down, which is going to reinforce that overbite. So what I like to do is, I mean, if you're eating a piece of meat or something, just and kind of grind it on your teeth, and that's gonna improve, and it's gonna make more natural having your teeth aligned like this. And just, I mean, just having it, try to remember, like, manually practicing throughout the day will obviously reinforce that and make it more of a habit to do. And eventually, trust me, after a couple weeks, it might take a little bit of time, but it's gonna come. It's gonna make a big difference. Next thing, breathing through your nose. You don't want to be a mouth breather. Breathe through your nose. It's going to fix your jawline. It's going to correct your habits. By correcting this habit, it's going to fix your jawline and can just having a bad day. I'm stuttering a lot today. I could go deeper into that, but that's a pretty common one. Just breathe through your nose. It's gonna just have your entire body just be functioning. Yeah. After a long day. Other visual enhancements: losing facial fat. Yes, you could still lose facial fat while eating a lot of food. This this is contradictory to what many people have been told. Oh, you're gonna gain a little fat no matter what if you're in a calorie surplus. I mean, look up the definition of a calorie, and you'll see that calories don't really matter as much. Just be eating whole foods. It doesn't matter if you're eating it doesn't matter if you're eating like 150 grams of fat in your diet and 145 grams of protein. It like as long as you're getting enough of those nutrients, you should be fine, and you still lose facial fat by eating these natural foods. So proper trimming and beard. People who have facial hair that could enhance their looks more by making their jawline stand out more with a proper beard. And we're gonna talk about just frauding a little bit. One thing I didn't really mention here was here. This is actually very important. Is debloating, which I'm going to get to. Oh my gosh, I just can't write it. It's really hard to write on a mouse pad. Anyways, so frauding and basically one way you could fraud throughout the day is sucking your cheeks in. Look, right now I'm mewing, which you should always be mewing if you're not talking. But you could fraud by pushing your mouth up like you're doing a kissy face, and it's going to suck your cheeks in while mewing. Also, squinting can also help with that. So, another thing, debloating. There's water retention in your face, stored in your face, and you could by debloating, your cheeks are gonna become more hollow, and you can improve that. So, how do you debloat? Well, there's a quick fix by just consuming a bunch of water and consuming a bunch of potassium, flushing out all that. Look, that might fix it for a week, but over time, not having proper mineral balance will not be good. You want to make sure that you are getting enough sodium and potassium, but you basically just have to do train your lymphatic system. By your lymphatic system, it holds all the water in your face and everything. So you could look up like the Big Six lymphatic the Big Six lymphatic action plan. And by taking lymphatic baths, you could flush out all that water that's going to be permanently there. So, geez, I need to make more videos. And I stutter a lot. I'm new to this. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. Physique. These next two ones are gonna be too in deep. Yet you have to maintain a clean diet if you're bulking. You could still shred fat while eating enough for bone growth. Trust me, if you're eating natural foods, if you're eating healthy foods, you shouldn't worry about your physique too much as when you're younger, and you should probably wait till you're older to start cutting and eating more just to improve your physique. But you could still have a good, lean, shredded physique that's going to be beneficial for looks maxing by eating clean. Yes. So other features. So your haircut. So you want to make sure that you have a haircut that suits your face well. You could just try experimenting. Ask your barber. Look, if you have ears that stick out like me, you probably want a haircut that covers it a little more. You want one that suits your face shape. So that is important, but it's not too important. But more importantly is clear skin. And clear skin really just comes down to your diet. You do not need. Oh, my bad. That's the conclusion. You do not need all these products, no matter what all these skincare companies are going to tell you. If you have a clean diet, you will not get acne. And stick with a clean diet for 6 months. Don't be on this 80-20. No, just have a perfectly clean diet. Do it as best as you can to stay as clean as possible. And trust me, you're going to get clear skin. All the nutrients in the primal whole foods diet that I discussed is going to help you is going to help with your skin health and clearing it out. And then style. So style is pretty much is not too deep. Pretty much coat, but try not to have a shitty middle school type style. Do not wear a bunch of polyester. That's one thing is just gonna bad for your hormones and everything. But just find something that suits you. Find something that you like without trying to make it being too corny. Don't try to copy everybody's else. Try to find something you like that feels good on you, and if you look good, you feel good. That's gonna help. So, at the end of the day, I'm sorry. I know I've been studying a lot, guys, but you got this, bro. You could do it. Follow my steps. Click the channel for more. I'm an up and coming YouTuber. But yeah, thank you. Bye.